What's going on, y'all? This is Mr. Starts with a Vision, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. I had to do a few things from the video space, and had to take like a small little hiatus to get a few things right. But I'm back, and a lot of people have been hitting me up, asking me like how I've built my brand, so to speak, up to this point, right? And I'm not on some huge stage yet, but I've gotten to a certain level and people have noticed it, and I want to be able to shed light on how I've been able to get here. So this is a web series, and I'll probably be doing it's probably going to be like maybe 6 videos, maybe, and it's going to show you, I'm going to talk about step by step what I've done to get where I'm at and how you can too, right? So if you don't know me, my name is Isaiah, but you call me Mr. Starts with a Vision because I started this brand starts with a vision, right? So we sell hats, right? This is a strap bag. We're about to come out with snapbacks. We sell shirts. Don't sell this one, but we sell baseball shirts. We sell shirts with entrepreneurial ideologies on shirts to spread a message that anything you do, you need a vision. Whether it be getting a car, going on vacation, getting married, starting a business, whatever you do, you need some type of vision before you take action. And so that's who I am, and that's what I started, and it's gaining momentum and catching traction. And so now I want to be able to kind of shed some light on a few things that I've been able to do just to get up to this point. I'm not going to talk about anything that I haven't done yet or, somewhere that I'm not yet. But I just want to, help you guys because you can do this too, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, you can do this. So add me on Snapchat as well. It's Trailblazing Zay. Add me on Snapchat before we go any further. But so let's talk about the first step, so to speak. Starts with a Vision was started a long time ago, and it was started long before I truly knew what it was gonna be. I don't know what I was doing. I was playing with a word one day, and I was playing with the word swag. This was back when a lot of people were saying swag, probably like about 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And so I don't know why I just spelled it SWAV. And then in my mind, I tried to come up with a acronym for SWAV. And so after a few times, I saw like starts with a vision. And I'm like, yo, that's kind of dope, right? And so I went and bought a domain name, but I never used it. And then I just went about my life. Got to Atlanta, got involved in real estate, flipped some houses, closed some wholesale deals, but wasn't 100% fulfilled, right? Got dinged and scammed by people, got for 1,000 here, 4,000 here, 10,000 here. And I wasn't fulfilled because I felt like I was chasing money and I wasn't chasing real life purpose. Because you could make a lot of money in real estate, but I would rather just have 10 duplexes and just giving me cash flow as opposed to going out trying to get this seller to give me to sell their house and blah blah blah. Like I don't know, like internally it just wasn't speaking to me like I thought it would, just because the money was involved. So that's the principle. Like don't just chase money. And I'm mature enough to understand that I was going nowhere fast because what happens is there's something called a rat race. A lot of people talk about the rat race in America, the 9 to 5, but nobody wants to talk about the rat race within entrepreneurship. And the rat race within entrepreneurship is, you're chasing money. Like you're not really happy but you feel like just because you're making six figures, like that's going to be the answer to your problems. Every day you're working in your business, you're not working on it. And if you don't leave your business, then if you leave your business isn't going to make money. So that's the rat race within it. And I more so wanted residual income, and I wanted a business that I could still, of course, have freedom and everything. So I had to revamp some things, and I had to do a lot of soul seeking, right? I had to look inside. So, fast forward to a few years down the road, I've gone through hell entrepreneurially. I've gone through hell. And I'm like, man, like this is crazy. Nothing was going right, but I was still persevering. Made money here, but it wasn't the dream that all entrepreneurs think it is. It wasn't 100,000 every single month, and I was just on the beach with my laptop. Like, nah, it wasn't that at all. So what happened was, I'm like, yo, I really think that I've been saying starts with a vision. Let me take this serious and let me make it happen. But before I did all that, I had to look inside. So I looked at all the principles that I've learned as an entrepreneur thus far. I wrote them down, and I just did like a lot of thinking. What do I want this to be if I'm going to really start this? What do I want it to become? I just really honed in to all the pain that I felt. So like, I think the most beautiful things come from pain. The most beautiful things come from pain. But a lot of people don't want to endure that pain, or when they do feel the pain, they don't want to continue it on. So this is what I'm saying to you. If you want to start a brand, then do it. But don't do it just because. Don't do it because it's hot right now. This is a commitment. It's a real commitment, long term. And if you want to get in the online space, you need to be prepared to not make money. If you want to start any business, be prepared to not make money. Like, that's my advice. So look inside of yourself and look inside of your soul. What do you stand for? Before you go get any domain names, before you go try to start a business and get your LLC right, before you do any of that, look inside. I need you to look deep down inside, because there's a lot of you who have brands, but you're just too scared, or you don't think that you have a brand. So what do you stand for? What pain have you endured? What type of things have you overcome? What is like your top three pillars of life, or however you want to say it? That's what I'm going to say was where I started. I looked internally, and I thought about everything that I've been through. I thought about what I didn't want to do, who I didn't want to be, because there's a lot of people who are my so-called mentors that I've learned that I didn't want to be them. So all of that played a part in the trajectory of where I started to go. And a lot of you guys out there, you're going to have to think about your past to be able to get to your future. It's not easy. It takes time. I've also learned the importance of patience. When I first started, I had a short-term mindset. 3 months, 4 months, a couple weeks. But if I would have started with the 5 to 10 year vision, as opposed to a 6-month vision, I would have been further off right now. But I'm here sitting here telling you that now. So now, moving forward, I have a longer term vision. That's why I know I'm going to be very, very, very successful at what I'm doing. Things change, circumstances happen, but you can never give up. And you always have to be willing to adjust no matter how hard it gets, right? So I thought about everything that I've been through. I thought about my morals, what I stand for, and then I just kind of like let it simmer. I let it cook. And then I kind of just started to take action, but right before the action, it was like a lot of research. So think about your past, not in a negative way. Use your past to motivate you. Use your pain and turn that pain into the greatest story ever told. It's a whole bunch more that I haven't even told you guys, but it's gonna come. I have a story that I have to get out to the world. So what is your story? What story do you want to tell the world if you want to tell the world? What do you want to convey to the market of what this brand is, who you are, right? And once you kind of pinpoint that, that's going to be the birth of this big empire that you're going to build. And then you need to figure out which way you want to go and all that stuff. And we're going to talk about that later. But right now, just think about your pain. Think about your losses. Think about all your failures. That's where we're going to start in this series. We're going to start with your failures. We're going to start with your pain. We're going to start with everything that you've been through. If you have started a business, think about those lessons. If you failed, cool, get it out the way. That's a part of life. Don't be so down on yourself just because you failed. Don't take your failures personal, right? Because when you take it personal, it starts to get to your heart. And when things start to get to your heart, it's not good. You don't make good decisions, right? When we're talking about entrepreneurially, don't mix business with emotions. So my first thing I did was I started internally. You don't have to go outside to get things that are already inside of you. You could talk to people and ask for feedback, but you don't have to do half the things that you think that you need to do. So while you sitting wherever you at, start jotting it down. Just jot down everything that you've been through. Jot down all the lessons that you feel have been so important for you. Jot those down. And as you start jotting it down, your brand is going to start formulating and being birthed, and you don't even know it yet because you haven't put a name or a logo to it. But that is your brand. And once you do that, we're going to start advancing further and further and further. But for the purpose of this video, what I'm going to say is start inside. Start with your pain. Start with your failures. That's where it all starts anyway. When you hear interviews, most of the time, what do they always say? So how'd you get started? Like, they always talk about where'd you start from. So where we're going to start from is in here, because that's where all the greatness is at. That's why Airplanes is out right now, because it all started inside of a human body, in their mind and in their spirit. So we're going to bring greatness out of you, but in doing that, we're going to start inside here. So think about all your failures. Think about all your pain and everything that you've learned and write it down. And on the next video, we're going to take it to the next step, all right? So that's really what I did to start this whole brand, to start this whole movement. And I feel like it's been a very successful campaign thus far. And I'm very excited for where we're going to be going. So if you don't know me, if you don't know how to get in contact with me, you can email me at Isaiah, ISIAH, @startswiththevision.com. Hit me up on Instagram, Mr. Starts With A Vision. Hit me up on Snapchat, Trailblazing Zay. And let's really make something happen. Let's create a brand through these videos. Like, let me help you walk you through getting up to this point. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.